What's up, gamers? I hope you're having a great day. I'm here in my kitchen because today we're making cookies. Because I've been quarantined in my house for 3 weeks and I'm bored as f***. But first, let's get our ingredients. A stick of butter, sugar, flour, salt, baking soda, vanilla, and egg. Wait, shit. Chocolate chips. And the most important ingredient of all, Rice Krispies. Now, if you probably couldn't tell, I didn't have an egg because my parents are vegan. So instead, I have egg replacer. Now, let's get started. Now, the first thing we need is a mixer. Ugh. This is heavy. Now, as this recipe says, we put in 1 stick of butter. And we also put in some sugar. But putting the bag in the mixer will be stupid. So we're gonna get a cup. Oh, shit. And there we go. Now then. Now, we blend this together. Oh, that was too fast. Okay. This takes a while, so you might want to do some other stuff while this is happening. And done. Now, because we're vegan, we don't have eggs. So instead we have egg replacer. So we're gonna do this next. Okay, so if you happen to be vegan, this thing calls for 1.5 teaspoons to 2 tablespoons of warm water. Got my knife for measuring purposes, so... Oh, wait, let me put this over. That's a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now, it says warm water on there, so make sure the water is warm before you do it. Otherwise, it'll probably just get really lumpy. Tablespoon 1. Shit, I spilled it everywhere. Tablespoon 2. I should have gotten a spoon for this. So I will. And now that our egg mixture is done, we just let this sit while we're mixing the dry stuff. Yeah. Just leave that there. Now next we need a large mixing bowl. Perfect. And we have our flour here. 1 cup and 2 tablespoons. Why that specific amount? I don't f***ing know. Look it up. And there's... Yeah, it's 1 cup. Okay. And there's tablespoon 1. Is it? That was anticlimactic. Here's tablespoon 2. Now, salt. You use 1/4 of a tablespoon because reasons. I don't know. A random thought that I had the other day was like, if a cook commits arson because they have a blowtorch in their kitchen, no one would really suspect them. Like, if they burned down their kitchen on purpose, like, everyone would just be like, oh, he has a blowtorch. That happens all the time. He probably just dropped it. What? Ah! I can't get the... There we go. That's a full 1/4 spoon. 1/4 spoon. There's our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now then, baking soda! Okay, so it's 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Now let me just... Oh! There we go. Baking soda! Now in the recipe, it also says to mix the 1 tablespoon of vanilla into this. But we're not gonna do that because I'm a rebel. Hashtag thug life. Now what you want to do is you want to put the tablespoon of vanilla into this thing. So that's what we're gonna do. And by the time you're done with all this shit, the egg mixture should be ready. So just dump it into here as well. Let me get a spatula because it's not coming out all the way. Again, this would be easier if you just had an egg and not egg replacer. Because being vegan's not that difficult, but sometimes it is. And then we just mix this up. And while this is mixing, you probably want to pause it and put the dry stuff in, because if you don't pause it, it'll probably just fly out of the bowl, which is what I'm doing. And now we just mix this until it looks like cookie dough. This may take a while. And while we're doing that, I'm going to measure out the chocolate chips and the Rice Krispies. And your cookie dough should probably... Oh wait. Why won't this thing come out? Oh wait, it's locked. So your cookie dough should probably look like this at this point. But don't eat it yet. Because we're gonna make cookies out of this. But first, I'm gonna measure this thing, and then I'll turn this back on. And we don't need these anymore. Now you want to turn this thing on, and then while you're doing it, pour these in very slowly so that way it evenly disperses through the mix. Or just dump them in like that, because that works as well too. And now for the main part of the recipe, Rice Krispies. So we want to put in 1 3/4 of a cup. And I forgot to mention that you put in 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. So once again, I'm going to put this on here because I don't want these to spill all over the kitchen. And I did it again. Shit. Probably just gonna pause that. So. Now, unlike what I did for the chocolate chips, you actually want to pour this in slowly. And the other 3/4 of a cup, depending on how many Rice Krispies you want, you may or may not want to put it in, but because I'm following the recipe except for one time, I'm just gonna dump them in. Oh wait, I have this unlocked. Okay, let me lock it first. And this is why you pay attention to your machines, kids. Your cooking machines, to be more precise. And now that this is done, let's get out a baking sheet and put these suckers in the oven, and I forgot to preheat the oven to 350. Shit. Now ideally, you want to preheat the oven beforehand, but I was an idiot and forgot to plan ahead. Don't do what I'm doing, kids, with the oven. Okay, now let's get a baking sheet. Boom! And now let's get our cookie thing maker thing. This thing. And let's see. This is literally just all the cookie dough. So I should probably just... Don't use your hands if you want people to actually eat your cookies. Now what you want to do is you want to take about a tablespoon, scoop as much as you can inside of this thing. And this is a special one because you may not be able to see, but you can plunk it out. That just slid down there. No, I forgot to mention that you probably want to evenly spread these apart, because unless you're lonely and you want one giant cookie, you don't want that. So evenly spread them apart so that way they won't stick when they're baking in the oven. Now that I'm done with this, put them in the oven. And it's not done preheating, so I'm just gonna wait. And then I'll put these in the oven, and then I'll see you in like 11 to 12 minutes.
11 to 12 minutes later.
And 11 minutes later, the cookies are done. Now, I just gotta say, I'd recommend that you wait like about 10 minutes to wait for these to cool off, but trust me, these things are f***ing delicious. Well, that does it. Thank you for watching my video on how to make my mom's friends Rice Krispie cookies. I don't really have a segue out of this. Please subscribe if you want more of this content. Okay, bye.